Hey, it's Rob and welcome to Axel's Garage. Alright, we got the big dummy behind the camera, and it's a windy day, it's hot, it's sunny, and that's the weather report because people like the weather report. But anyway, we're playing with the camera, and I apologize if some videos, the sound's been going in and out, and I don't know if there's a problem with the camera or it's the settings. It seems like the wind reduction setting on the camera is actually making it worse. So what we got going on today is a check engine light on this '02 Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's got an 8-cylinder, full-time four-wheel drive. My wife's been driving it. We did a couple videos about it, but it's had a check engine light on since January. I think it was January. And the inspection expired at the end of January. So, of course, we never got around to addressing the check engine light, and in New York, we can't get a 2002 inspected with a check engine light on, or in this area of New York at least. So, what do? My wife's just been driving it with the expired inspection, and about a month ago, we got a ticket. And it was a cheap one. It was a $60 ticket in one of the small villages on Long Island, and I said, well, I got to get that thing fixed. And before I could even get a chance to look at it, bam, we got one right in front of the house, $155. So now we're up to what? I'm no math whiz, but that's like $215 because we haven't had it inspected, and that sucks. So today we're out here with the big dummy, and for all the big dummy haters, because I've been getting some nasty emails and nasty comments. Sanford and Son, Fred Sanford, the dad, called his son Lamont the big dummy. It's a term of endearment. Alright, so stop telling my son to throw a wrench at me and to beat me down and to throw the camera at my head. It's a term of endearment. So while the big dummy films, we're going to go around and we're going to plug in the code reader, and we're going to see what we got in this 2002 Jeep Grand Cherokee. You on that? Mm-hmm. Alright, so there's our code. It's a P0158, and it's the O2 sensor circuit high voltage bank 2 sensor 2. Alright, so what we got is a O2 sensor bank 2 circuit 2. It's been going on for over a year that we've had the car, and initially when you reset it, it wouldn't come back on right away, so you were able to drive around enough for all the monitors to come in, you can get it inspected, but now I can't seem to do that. So we went ahead, best price, Rock Auto, but if you add the shipping in and you have Amazon Prime, best price, Amazon Prime. I'll put a link in the description below. We got a Bosch oxygen sensor. The part number is 13937. Apparently, the downstream on the right side is the same as the upstream on the left side. I don't know. But anyway, make sure you get the right one. In a V8 like this, there's 4 of them. There's an upstream on both sides and a downstream on both sides. So this one's listing as a bank 2, which is the passenger side or the right side bank on the engine, and so it's the exhaust pipe coming down that way, and it's the sensor 2, which is the downstream, which is after the catalytic converter, where the sensor 1 would be the upstream before the catalytic converter. So pretty much the way I do these is, when I know that I'm going to do it a couple days in advance, which I really didn't know with this one, I usually start soaking down the oxygen sensor with some PB Blaster or something. Hopefully the one that's in there went in with some lube. And this Bosch sensor doesn't come with a... Oh, it's got it on it. All right. So most of the oxygen sensors you buy have a little packet of anti-seize compound, so that you can put it on the threads. This one comes with a cap on it, and it already has the anti-seize compound on the threads. There's not a whole lot of it. I'll probably put a dab more that I have in the garage, and that's so that you can take it out in the future, and hopefully the one that's in there had a good amount of anti-seize compound on the threads, because this goes into an exhaust pipe, it has a tendency to rust up, and sometimes they're real bare to get out. So we're going to see if we can get that one out easy. I'll spray with a little PB Blaster, maybe heat it up a little bit, and let that PB Blaster get in there and hopefully get it out. What I usually do is, they make special sockets for the the O2 sensor. And if you've seen in some of my other videos, sometimes we have to use them, and I don't have any, and I've been borrowing them when we have to use them. But for the old one, if I could get a socket on it, I could just cut the wire and put a regular socket on it because we're going to throw it away anyway. But to put the new one in, it's got to go in with a wrench, and it's usually like a 19 millimeter or something, or a, was it 13/16? It's close to 19, I don't know. But I'm going to go get the right wrench, and then we'll come out here and we'll try to get that one off. Alright, so it was like a 22 millimeter, which I don't have. It goes up to 21, but a 7/8 fit. And then I grabbed the 13/16 for leverage. So the problem with this one is it's straight up and down. There's not a whole lot of room to work. And it was in there pretty good. Couldn't budge it with just the wrench. So what I did was I disconnected where it plugs into the harness, and I cut the wires off so that I can slip the box end of the wrench over. So I put the box end of the 7/8 wrench over, and then I put the 13/16 on like this so I can get some leverage, and that did break it loose. Prior to that, I did add some PB blaster, let it sit for a little bit, then I added some heat, and then some more PB blaster. So it's warm, it got in there, and it broke it loose. I'm going to see if Robbie can get underneath there and give you a view of it while I get the rest of it out. This way you can at least see it. Alright, so here's where it is. It's really in a tight spot with the other pipe coming over. So cutting that wire off the top allows us to get the box end of the wrench on, which helped a lot. Now I'm going to use the open end because it's already cracked loose, and it's pretty loose, and I just cracked it maybe an eighth of a turn, and it's loose. So, and it's still a little warm. So I'm going to spin it out. All right, and there we have it. It was broken up top here. So that's probably why it didn't work anymore. The whole thing was like pretty much had fallen apart. You got that on camera? Mm-hmm. It's not supposed to be in there like that. Alright, so now we got our new one. I'm going to get our new one prepped and ready, and we're going to thread this in by hand nice. We're not going to connect the wires until the end because we want to thread it in by hand. We don't want to tangle that wire up and damage where it goes in. So I'm just going to get a little bit more, what do they call that? The lube for the threads. The anti-seize compound, that's it. Let me get a little more of that, and then we'll just thread it in. Alright, so the running joke with anti-seize compound is that it gets all over the place. And that is true. You get it on your hands, it winds up on your face, it winds up on your clothes. But pretty much, when you put it on an oxygen sensor, you want to try to keep it away from the sensor itself. So I got the threads covered nice, and I'm just going to take my rag, and I am going to make sure that I have this sensor part clean like that. Alright, now I'm going to go up in the hole here, and I'm just gonna by hand get this started. And that old one, you know, came out by hand. So if you can't put the new one in by hand, you got something a little funky going on. Alright, so make sure your wire doesn't get screwed up. And then you can take your wrench. Excuse me, Robbie. Alright, anybody that wants to bitch about the camera angles right now, you can bitch to the big dummy, because I can't see what he's doing. I'm trusting in his camera ability. Alright, and it's got like a crushable washer. Not really a crush washer, but it's some kind of crushing type of washer. So you really don't have to hammer down when you're tightening it. Just get it good and snug. And that should do it. So now I'm going to take the plug end of the wire and gotta find where it plugged into. And the old one had this red locking tab on it. You got that on camera, Robbie? Alright, and I don't know if I could retrofit this into the new one. Should have done that when it was out of the car. The new one's got a spot for the locking tab, but didn't have a locking tab. So let me see if I can pull this tab out completely without breaking it. And then it probably slides into the other one. Oh, no, I broke it. See? It's brittle. This was, you know, this is original stuff here. So, it was brittle. No big deal. Connect it, you hear a little snap. So, I mean, it made a positive connection. And there was a little nylon, you know, push through kind of fastener that held it up there, and that thing, that's this right here. You got that, Robbie, with my fingers?
You can't really tell.
It was like a little nylon fastener that pushed through this hole here to hold it in place. That also was brittle from the heat over the years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a zip tie, and I'm just going to tie it through that little hole in that bracket just so that it stays up away from the heat, because you don't want it falling down in the exhaust and burning the wire. So I'll get a zip tie. We'll wrap it up. I'll show you the finished product, and then we could talk about how we get it inspected. See my zip tie? Alright. Zip tie's on there.
I don't think we got it.
I don't think you got it on camera?
No.
Alright, give me the camera here. Alright, so we got our zip tie right up there, going through the original bracket where the nylon push pin held it in place. Right? And there's the new wire. That's the black one right here. Goes right down into the oxygen sensor. When we had the wrench on it, if you got to do this job at home, alright, we came above the front control arm here with the wrench. Try to back up so you can see above the control arm, and then onto there, and let me just get the wrong wrench. Alright, so we came around here, and then onto the back side of the wrench. When we had the box end, it was reversed. This end was on the oxygen sensor, and then we attached this one. You know, we hooked it into the open end, and we were able to get the leverage by kicking out the wheel here, turning it all the way to the left to give us more room in between the wheel, and that's how we got enough leverage to break it free. Alright, I guess if you have a socket, there's really not a whole lot of room to work with a socket here too, so you gotta get a little creative. Alright, let me clean these tools up and we'll wrap it up. Got the key on, engine off. Man, it's hot out. Alright, what I'm going to do now is reset all our codes. Alright, so I'm going to go to erase codes, which is going to erase my pending codes, because the code, this oxygen sensor code, was a pending code, because I had reset it the other day just to see what was going on. So I'm going to erase codes. Erase trouble codes, are you sure? Freeze frame data will be lost. Wish to continue, yes. Erasing codes, please wait. Erase done, okay. So now, I can click onto the I am readiness, and you see I got no codes, I got no pending codes, and I have the CAT, the EVAP, the O2 sensors, and the HRT, which is, I think that's a heater circuit for the O2 sensors. And we can start this up. Alright, so now with it running, if I view my live data, I should see that Bank 2 Sensor 2 operating normally. Let's see. Alright, here's Bank 1 Sensor 1 voltage, right? Jumping around there like that, and that one's jumping around like that, and now we want to go bank 2, sensor 2. Bank 2, sensor 1. Here we go. Bank 2, sensor 1. Alright. The voltage is doing basically what the same thing as the one on the other side's doing, which is what you want. And hopefully, I don't know what all this stuff means, but I know if one side's doing the same thing the other side is, that it's usually working. Which is nice. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 that we need to come in, so we need to drive this a little bit. Wish I knew what all that other stuff meant, but I really don't know what it means. Alright. Alright, I only got a little anti-seize on me. It's not on my face, it's only on my hand. But that's it. That was quick, 15-20 minutes, even with the filming. And hopefully we were able to get the angles. It was tight underneath there. And I wish I knew what all those numbers meant, the percentages and the voltages. I just try to compare the side that's working to the side that's not working. So sensor 2 on the bank 2 side is now comparable to sensor 2 on the passenger side. So hopefully that works itself out. What we need to do now is drive it and get it up to temperature, take it for a ride. We usually do like a loop around the neighborhood and then let it cool down, and after dinner or something we'll take it for another ride, and that should bring enough sensors in where in the morning first thing I get inspected so we don't get any more tickets. So a little inexpensive code reader, which put you right in the ballpark for the part. Got the part in. Thank goodness it wasn't in there overly tight, and that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Remember, big dummy, term of endearment. Right, Robbie? Yes, he's nodding because he's not talking today. But big dummy, term of endearment. Watch some Sanford & Son. If you don't know what Sanford & Son is, you should really just get a box set and watch it. Is it online anywhere? Did you ever see? No?
It's on TV.
It's on TV? What channel?
No idea.
We have a box set, like a 5 CD box set of, or DVD, I should say, DVD, of Sanford & Son. You'll enjoy it. It's a show from the 70s that you'll see nothing like it on TV today. It's like reruns of All in the Family. It's like an All in the Family type of thing, only with Sanford and his son. Sanford & Son. Anyway, that's it. Got the code done. Got the Jeep done. In the morning we'll get it inspected. My wife will be happy. Happy wife. That's it today from Axel's Garage. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. And if you like what we're doing here at Axel's, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead. It's right there. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.